I remember standing on the corner of 129th Street and Lenox Avenue and getting a hit that a fight was getting ready to start, and I spun around and ran towards 130th Street. And when I looked behind me, Jackie was running behind me. And we were in between two gangs, pulling them apart and saying no and taking. She says I got hit with a bat. I don't remember, but she was on the floor. The next minute, then everybody just stopped and said, "Wait, somebody knocked down the mother." I said, "Oh no, y'all done lost your mind."
15 years. 15 long years. It have truly been a journey. And the journey we've took have saved so many lives. And I just want to take the time to thank all the mothers and fathers and the families that have supported Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. and fathers, Harlem Mothers and fathers, I don't want to leave that out, through the years, because without the families we could not have the success.
Welcome to Harlem Mothers Stop Another Violent End 15th year anniversary celebration. My name is Kimberly Hayes, contract manager for Harlem Mothers Stop Another Violent End.
We must act. I believe we've hit a crisis level.
Yes.
I believe we're at a point where we can no longer simply talk about what's going on. We have to come with solutions.
Congratulations to Harlem Mothers and Fathers S.A.V.E. for 15 years of extraordinary service to our community and beyond. You guys have saved so many lives over the last 15 years by alerting our communities and our neighbors in terms of what they must do to look out for their children and look out for their family. Congratulations, my sister Jackie Rowe Adams. You're extraordinary. I love you so much and I respect you deeply.
The movement known as Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. Stop Another Violent End was born out of the unimaginable pain shared by two Harlem mothers. Each had lost one or more sons to senseless gun violence on the streets of New York City. These mothers, Jackie Rowe Adams and Jean Corbett Parker, were seasoned community leaders in their own right.
The mothers and the fathers here, it hurts me to stand here, but I'm also proud to be a part of this organization. Why? They saved my life, because if not, I would have been a shooter.
Jackie had followed in the footsteps of her mother, an activist and a Harlem fixture, Hermina Reb. Jean, active in the community she loved in many ways.
We as a community, we as strong women, we as strong black women that are mothers, that are sisters, that are grandmothers, that are aunts, that are friends, we've got to take the responsibility of standing up and see to that our children don't bring the guns into our house.
And so when people ask, how has New York City transformed itself in lowering violent crime? It's because the community, heroes like Jackie Rowe Adams, her mothers and fathers at Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E., this organization have come together and said, we are going to go into the community.
Yes.
We are going to be the advocates because the kids in our community know us, they believe us, the parents know us and believe us, and I think that's making the difference. So, don't stop what you're doing. We love you for everything that you've done. You are a special woman for this city and Harlem and in my heart. Thank you very much.
And let me just thank our New York City Police Department. That's my gang. That's my gang. They are some serious community leaders.
It was no surprise that through their shared devastating experience and their enlightened community consciousness that they came together to fight and not fold. For Jackie often says she turned her tragedy into triumph. And what did that look like? The founding of Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. The two vowed to never give in and never give up. They began to take the steps necessary to prevent another mother from not experiencing the loss of a child due to gun violence. In November of 2006, these mothers took their case and moral conviction to New York State Representative, the Honorable Keith Wright, and demanded that something be done to decrease the flow of illegal guns into our communities, causing the death of our youth.
I remember when Jackie Rowe and some of the mothers came into my office.
Tell the story.
And there were a lot of tears on both ends. But they were sick and tired of the gun violence. When she told me the story, that kids were buying guns in the bodegas. In the bodegas. Then we were able to start Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. and they've made a real impact.
Sure enough, we went to Assemblyman Keith Wright's office and crying all over his carpet, and he was crying and we was crying, and we told him what we wanted to do. We wanted to get the message out there and let people know we have to stop this violence. He said, well, first you need a name for your group. Moving forward, he had his office staff and everybody came up with a name. He said, what about Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E.? I said, good. We chose Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. That was on a Tuesday. That Friday, we went on the steps of City Hall. First of all, he made a call to the 100 Black Law Enforcement, which at that time, Eric Adams was the sergeant, and the president of 100 Black Law Enforcement. So we stood on the steps of City Hall and we called a question. Who's giving our kids these guns? Illegal guns. 100 Black Law Enforcement found out that in Harlem, it was 2 bodegas selling illegal guns. And they were giving our kids these guns. Watermelon truck, collard green truck, selling guns. Right there on 7th Avenue, watermelon truck many years ago, 2006. And they found out that that's who in Harlem was giving our kids these guns.
Many people will join you in a victory parade, but not a lot of people will be on the battleground to fight with you through that battle to win. Jackie called me a couple of years ago and she said, folks are all up here in Harlem giving promises on what they're going to do. She said, y'all can keep y'all money. Y'all can keep all the things you have. There's only one candidate in this race, and that candidate name is Eric Adams, and I'm with Eric Adams all the way through.
They were willing to work alongside of our leaders from government, from the community, from law enforcement, and faith-based organizations to prevent the violence caused by guns and its social causes and costs, as well as the emotional impact. Our Honorable Representative Keith Wright was on board immediately and dubbed this grassroots organization Harlem Mothers Stop Another Violent End, affectionately known as Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. Without taking a breath, Jackie and Jean began shining a light on the growing epidemic by organizing activities and programs with focus on activism, education, and victim services. They comforted parents, I should say, at the point of their untimely need, and surrounded these parents with a community of care made up of other parents who found themselves in this group because of gun violence.
I've known Jackie probably since I came to Harlem in 98. I started working with her kind of on an unofficial basis in 2006 when I was executive director at Harlem Hospital, and we were receiving at least 90 gunshot wounds a month during that time. And I work with her around her expressing to the community her outrage because of the losses she suffered. I expressing my outrage because every time I walked through the emergency room, there was some kid there who had been shot for no other reason other than he was a kid in the wrong place or he was a kid with the wrong group. I brought that experience, the statistics that people were not aware of, to the Community Advisory Board, to Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, to the elected officials, and said to them, we have to do something about this because it's out of control. And work with Jackie, just trying to create awareness. She had me marching up and down the street and taking part in her activities. And Jackie's a great orchestrator. She's a great drum major. She has a great passion for this subject for a good reason. And I came to see the group and I saw how much pain these people were in, and I saw the difficulty they were having in expressing it, and that in some ways the group itself created a crucible of pain and anxiety. And she really needed some help managing it because she was able to lead the group because she had suffered the same pain. But the clinical aspects of what people were suffering and how to express that suffering and how to contain it were things that I brought to the enterprise.
Hi, my name is Yasmin Hurston Cornelius. I guess I'm one of Jackie's children, nieces, sisters. I met Jackie over 20 years ago, and we connected as soon as we met. I met her through my mother. And we've been together ever since then. I remember I supported her. I ran her campaigns when she ran for school board and city council. She has been there with me through my children being born, through me being married, and through all of the activities when we thought about the understanding of how do you address a loss, coming up with Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. I'm just so proud of her. And I love her so much. And to think about where we are today, all the different changes we've all gone through, all the life changes that she has gone through, and still here, and still kicking, and still making it.
Just to mourn the loss of our young people, you don't know the many, many things that Jackie Rowe Adams does to improve the quality of life. I know death like few people do. On November 30th, 1950, I was 20 years old. I was in Korea, near a river that separated North Korea from China. Our troops were surrounded by tens of thousands of Chinese. 90% of the troops and my friends and comrades were killed or captured. I was shot, left for dead, 20 below zero, and I didn't know how religious I was.
When I was running for district attorney the first time, I met Jackie at a fundraiser for Bob Morgenthau, and she was very nice, but she said, I'm not going to support you because I'm supporting Rich Aborn. In any event, Rich and I then ran against each other, and ultimately, I prevailed, and then Jackie came to get to know me. And ever since then, Jackie has been a supporter of our office and our office's work. And it was the beginning of a beautiful relationship. But in the beginning, she wasn't sure she really could support me.
But then she met me.
And then she met Peggy.
And then she realized, all right, there is something to this guy.
And that closed the deal.
Honored to be here. I love coming here every year because I get to see the faces. I'm glad to see Mr. Arnold up and about.
Yes.
But, you know, the work never ends. I know we don't always advertise it. The detectives doing their due diligence, sometimes a little kick in the butt, but we get it done.
As a result of the support of the Honorable Inez Dickens, Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. and Harlem Fathers now were awarded a permanent place called home on 128th Street.
Through all of these saints and warriors, in your name, amen. Amen.
One, two, three. Yes, this evening we celebrate Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E. Its co-founder, Jackie Rowe Adams, its mothers, its fathers, its sisters, and its brothers, who through their own grief and pain found the strength to lift and encourage one another and those parents and the communities that they embrace.
Making sure that we
Make room, let it work.